Here is a little tutorial on factoring by grouping when you have a trinomial. Okay, so we are used to guess and check, where we make the t's and we find the pairs that'll add up to be a negative 32. An alternate way is to multiply a and c together. So I literally do 5 times negative 21. So 5 times negative 21 just so happens to give me a big old number of 5 times 21 is in fact negative 105. All right, so that was A times C.
So this works with any trinomial, right? So like there's like number 42 on the sheet. Like we could do it with
Yes, as long as you remember to put the squareds in. Okay. So now the next thing you do, once you multiply A times C together, you have this big number, negative 105. I want to find a factor pair of negative 105 that still adds up to be negative 32. So I could do, I could do 1 and 105. Well, that's not going to work. 2 doesn't go in. 105 divided by 3 is 35. Oh, there it is. So 1 and 105, that didn't work out for me. But I can have 3 and 35. If I want them to add to be a negative 32, which of these two is negative? Negative 35. Once you have that factor pair, watch this little bit of magic right here. You ready? I'm going to turn this into a 4-term polynomial. How? By replacing this guy with these two. Exactly.
You're still having to find the factor.
You are, and it's a bigger number that you have to deal with. So if you have a calculator, like I said, it's not such a big deal because whatever. So anyway, I'm going to rewrite this whole thing, but instead of writing that, I write these two. So I need a plus 3p and a minus 35p. You always put the variable with it.
Multiply A and C together.
Huh?
Like you multiply A and C together.
That's just one of your steps. That's how I'm getting, because remember, when you FOIL, I'm eventually going to have factors of these product that add up to be that. Now, it doesn't matter which order that you put these in. So it didn't matter if you had put the minus 35 first and then the positive 3. Doesn't matter. You do need to make sure that you're putting a p with each of these, because remember, I'm replacing negative 32p. So 3p and negative 35p, if I combine them, I really do get negative 32p. But if you left those p's off, right, now it doesn't actually replace that. It's just replacing the negative 32, but where's the p? I don't know. Once you have it as a 4-term polynomial, now you do just like I taught you earlier today. You have 4 terms, you split it in half, and you factor each side. Well, and here's the thing. When you get good at guess and check, you are going to be faster than someone that's doing this. Because you're dealing with much smaller numbers. You're only dealing with factors of 5 and 21. Not 105. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In a moment, yes. So this one, I'm going to factor each side. Out of the left, what can you take out? P. Out of the right, what do I take out? Negative 7. You are correct. And then I'd be left with 5p plus 3. So, just like before, hey, look, my parentheses match. So that's one of my factors. And then the other one is what's out in front, p minus 7. So, you could have gotten this answer by making the t's, or you can now do this method. I don't really care what you do. If you're good at the t's, keep going. If you're not, or this is a nice way to double check it. Well, you could just FOIL it though. Whatever method you're doing, you got to be good at it, and you got to be fast at it. Because when you get up to pre-calc, you don't have time to be twiddling your thumbs thinking of factors. You got to be fast. You need, well, it depends what your future goals are.
Now you have to take math. Yeah, but there's different math courses. Miss Savia, if we have to take one math per year, then why is guidance putting us all into math next year?
I know nothing about that. You have to take a math every semester until you take MCAS.
Oh.
Yeah,
And MCAS is in sophomore.
right. In the spring too, so.
Oh, that's why we have to take it.
Mm-hmm.
I meant math year. Yeah, you don't take MCAS.
Minus 5.
Oh, it's because you usually in May. I'm gonna miss it. We take it was like 2 over my life.
Okay, let's try another problem. Using this new method, okay. Are you watching, people? You ready? You ready? You ready? Okay. So this new method, which is really just kind of a mix of two old ones, you're going to multiply A times C T. Well, first, oh my gosh. Is there a common factor I can take out of the whole thing? No. Okay, always check. So I'm going to multiply A times C together. So when I multiply A times C, in this case, I have a 6 times a negative 15. So that gets me a negative 90. I want factors of negative 90 that have to be a positive 13. Well, I'll just start listing. 1 and 90, that's not going to get me to a 13. 2 and 45, no. 3 and 30. 4 does not go into 90, but 5 does. 5 and, is it 18? Oh, there it is. Now, let's figure out the signs, though. That needs to multiply to be a negative 90, but add to be a positive 13. So who's negative here? 5. Once you have that pair, all you have to do is you're replacing that guy with these two. So it's now going to read 6p squared minus 5p plus 18p minus 15. See how I just replaced 13p with those two? If I add those two back together, I really get to 13p. But now I've turned it into a 4-term polynomial. And at the beginning of class, when we were doing these, you guys seemed to like them because they are pretty easy. Once you have the 4 terms, it's easy. Split it, factor, boom, you're done. So I'll split it. What can I take out of the left? Just a p, right? Because I can't take out anything out of 6 and 5, but I can take out a p. So that would leave me with 6p minus 5, right? How about on the right, what can I take out? 3. And that would leave me with 6p minus 5. So my parentheses match. That's one of my factors. And the other is what's out in front, p plus 3. You're done. So again, I don't care if you got this by making the t's or by turning it into a 4-term and splitting it like this. You will probably be faster if you do the t's, the guess and check. Do you see how the numbers can get kind of big with this method? Because you're multiplying those two n numbers together. So if those two n numbers, what if it was like 24 and 25? Now you're dealing with a really big number. When you do the t's, you're only using the factors of 24 and the factors of 25. So they never get that big. So if you don't have access to a calculator, I would do the t's for sure. Otherwise, these numbers can get really, really big really fast, depending on what these n numbers are. Okay? Does this make sense? Those of you that are trying this method, does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.